Alright, hey there guys, it's Metro. We are back, and I read into it a little bit. I think what we need to do is find rares. People were saying that rares are offering more, like they skin like they do in Dragonfly or in War Within. So if this is true, then we will do that. Because otherwise this doesn't really work. I'm not really sure if you're supposed to do it this way, or if you're actually supposed to kill rares. It seems weird because at one point, skinning seemed to be very normalized. But yeah, I guess they went away from it and they tried to make it a little bit more complicated. Which makes some sense because if they're adding like rare things into the game, they obviously want other rare things, but I don't really think the Kazgarite ore concept and this other concept work very well. I'd rather them not be as rare. But anyway, okay, that's a 300 item level upgrade. Male helmets. And do we get anything? Yep, there we go. Alright, so that's it. We got our hides. Now it's time to go. I believe we are totally done, right? Well, we're done with this character. Did we get them the lumber we needed? No, definitely not. We only have 3. If we're trying to craft it right now, we need a lot more than that. What are the items? Don't know why those reset, but the other one doesn't. Well, we're not going to be able to craft it right now anyway, but we can go get the 45 lumber we need. That'll be our next adventure. Because, yeah, we need the ore, which obviously we don't have that. But we know how to get it, I guess. I guess that's the trick, it's just killing the rares. People were saying you can kill 1 each day. And then just do that every day. There's a couple of them that are beasts, I guess. So we just need to find 85 lumber, and then the diamond thing is going to be our next adventure. Not sure how we're going to figure, or we got to figure out like how they, like, cause it's really kind of wild because I didn't know anything about these professions when I started this effectively. I really barely knew anything because I don't think I touched a single thing. I did try to get into it, but I didn't like learn anything about the professions. I spent a lot of time on blacksmithing and dragonfly at the beginning, and then after that I really didn't touch much, just enough to craft, because I really liked that concept of that blacksmithing hammer or whatever it was. The Black Dragon blacksmithing hammer, that was really cool. Well, honestly, 85 lumber does not need to be gained on this character, right? Yeah, this is warbound, so we can do that on the other character. Which we're gonna need, so I need to remember this number 75. So let's go craft the items that we need to craft. And then we will start getting lumber. And I'm pretty sure everything else is done. It's ore. We gotta figure out diamonds. Let's look at that right now. And then we should be able to craft both of these today. Illimited diamond. Highly desirable diamond.
Mighty here. Plant our banners to mark what the Dragon Scale expedition has discovered.
We got, says I got done prospecting 35 rank 3 draconium ore and got 2 illimited diamonds. That's not good. God, some of these things are just like impossible to craft alone. Well, what do we should have... Do we have all the stuff we need to craft that? No, because we need the hides. Or we need the awakened earth and frost.
Let us discuss business.
Awaken, yeah, we barely have enough, but we do have enough.
Doing business.
Don't know where you get frost. I think you're meant to get it from herbalism. I think you can get it. Earth. Guess I already had a bunch.
I have much to offer.
Oops. Put that in here. Keep those all in there, honestly. The potions we can put in too, just on the off chance we need them. Wait, oh, don't I have? Oh, those are like actual rep ones. I don't think those things have any function nowadays, because reps all BOA or whatever. I will keep these on my character and just gotta remember 75 is the number.
Thank you for browsing.
We could use a vendor. Yak.
I have many lucky doos. You like?
That should have went in the bank too. I don't. Oh yeah, I have a bunch of these things. Why are they not stacked? Wait, what the hell? They're different items. They are different item IDs, but they're the exact same item. A one soulbound, I see. I think these are useless, but I just can't do anything with them. They just keep coming into my inventory, you know? I have no value. They have no value, unfortunately. We're already exalted. Like, or whatever. We have rep that's BOA, and I'm max rep, so. Right. Let's go down here and craft items, or leather stuff at least. So we need to make one Mirelush hide, right? One allocation of Mirelush hides, because it's going to give us 2 for whatever reason. Okay. 2 hides now. And so yeah, it's literally just 2 more Cascarite ore and then 30 lumber for the one. So we need 75 lumber. And we need... What is it? Was it 12? No. I'm so bad at math, dude. Alright, we need 17. Yeah, 12. Yeah, we need 17 total. And we have 5 already. So we need 12 Cascarite ore. And then we need to figure out how to get unlimited diamonds. They might be being purchased. I don't know. I think we have... There's like a bunch of charts on here. We're going to keep reading about it. There's like... What is this? Below are some personal prospecting statistics. It's like impossible to get unlimited diamonds, it looks like. And I bet there's some skill related to it. Yeah, well, that part scares me a little bit. I don't really know if there's like I don't really think there's any way to shortcut this stuff. Like, I think we just needed to put a lot of hours into it, and we just didn't do it during the expansion, so now we're stuck. doing it after the expansion. And that's kind of crazy because we're basically spending like an hour on each craft. Maybe more than an hour on each craft. I was reading Wowhead articles about how hard some of these items are to get too. I don't think the crafting items would ever be that hard, but it does seem like there's a lot of items that are just ridiculously hard to get. I think they'll probably get changed though. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that we definitely won't craft, or we won't find or buy or whatever 1,800 or whatever that number was. What is the actual number? 1,000. Yeah, it's 1,834. So we're not gonna get every single item. I think it's pretty clear, but I definitely want to get all the crafting items, all the things that just explore the world and do things. You know, those shouldn't be that difficult. Yeah, we don't have any actual JC or any actual Dragonflight stuff in our inventory right now. Let's see if we can find.
Only the finest goods.
The Cascarite ore, we'll just bring it out. Yeah, there it is. So I know we need 17 total, so that'll help us. Because there's multiple ranks. And for some reason we don't have any of the ranks of the other stuff. I guess we used it all. We do have a bunch of rank 3 though. And this is current expansion stuff, which I doubt we'll use again. I don't know why I had that. Oh yeah, that's Draconium ore. Didn't mean to put that in there, I don't think. Oh no, that's the current expansion stuff. Or that's the Dragonflight stuff, yeah. Acarite, that's the one that I thought it was. Where did that other ore go? Oh, down here. So, I mean, we could prospect. I think maybe what we could do is we can prospect it and we just buy a bunch of it instead of trying to farm a bunch of it, because it's like not productive, it seems like, to get, like people are saying they had to do 30,000 ore or something. I don't think we're going to be able to get this naturally. I agree. One of the comments here is that they should have made a way for jewel crafting to create them with a cooldown. I agree. Oh yeah. Well, we need to track minerals again. So that's over already. Big over there. And now we need to find good, reliable places to get. Where's the lumber? Dragon pine lumber. Alright, we'll put that up here. We need a lot of it. 75. And then obviously we need a lot of ore. This stuff in this cave here has been really good to us. Jesus Christ. Hard to understand. Sometimes I just get stuck. Focus on the lumber, I guess. Because once we get the lumber, then we're able to just turn that one off. But obviously we'll look for ore next to it. The problem is, it seems very unlikely to get Casgarite from anything other than like an empowered ore. It's more common. At least, not very unlikely, but certainly more common. So we got only three. Oh, I have shade skill on too. I was like, there's no way it's still dark out in the game. 9 o'clock. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. I think I'll probably just, like, whatever we have, we'll prospect. I need to get a jewel crafter set up anyway, I guess, because obviously we're going to do jewelry crafting stuff too. Ore is easy enough to get to a point where I don't really worry about having to refarm anything other than Casgarate. So as long as we get, you know, whatever we get, like the other two types, we can just prospect. Although that article did seem to indicate that you cannot get unlimited diamonds from anything other than Draconium or higher. Where did that article go? Did I already close that? Yeah, it says 0% chance. Well, from Ceravite rank 3, there's a chance, I guess. But this indicates that there is a 0% chance from everything lower. And unfortunately, the highest chance... Oh, actually... No, yeah, am I reading this right? The highest chance is actually Draconium ore. Casgray is actually lower. I thought that said 0.1 for a second. But this guy says 29 diamonds from that 30k number, so we'll buy whatever we don't end up getting after all of this farming. And then it'll be on to tailoring. Or maybe we should just do jewel crafting next, I guess. We'll see. I mean, we might as well, I guess, if we're going to actually have to set it up. I think I have a character that has it. I just don't... It's like 0 or something. I used it probably only to... Yeah, it was the warrior, right? The warrior was literally only used to... level, I think. What is Shy Fly? Okay, I'm gonna actually turn Shade Skill off because I'm tired as shit. I did not sleep well. So hopefully I won't get any more tired because we got a very, very long day ahead of us. Gotta get multiple episodes of this in. And then we're off to the stream. And then basketball practice right after. $13 lumber out of 75. That's the number we're looking for. Doesn't seem to be a lot of mining nodes. There's Titan Touch Ceravite. We don't have our thing up though. I do think it's... I don't know if it's actually possible to get Casgrite from those things that spawn when you use that on whatever, any, you know, the earthen one or the fire one or whatever. But I like to think it is in my head, so we'll keep doing that. Otherwise, the other option is to use it on the Titan one, and that just takes you to another one instantly, which is not really... Like, it's nice, I guess, but doesn't save much time. Oh, where's that node? Down in the water. Is that up really high? Yep. There's a bunch over here. Or are there? There it is. This is probably nothing. 0 things in there. I guess the good thing is we don't need to get mining a second time for jewel crafting to work. Hey. Okay, we need to like track a recipe. That's good. Just any recipe that says cascarite, because I don't want to have to keep opening my inventory. It's bad psychology there. I'll keep checking and I'll never feel like I'm making any progress. I'll start associating the opening of the bags with the feeling of not succeeding. Molten draconium ore. Down there. Yeah, I think you can go in the water and get rid of this, right? Yeah. Thought that's how it worked. Doesn't matter anymore. It was somewhat dangerous when the first times I ever did this ore. I remember almost dying to it a few times. I wonder what the highest achievement is for collecting decor. Oh, we were talking about this the other day. What do you guys think about this? If you were in a situation where there's not, maybe even like it's eerie how little noise there is, would you describe it as deathly silent or silent as the grave? Which would you prefer to say? Always interests me. That's a good one, I think. We almost need a separate bag just for dragonflight. Start putting all these things up here. We must have gotten draconium. That's it, I guess. Trying to keep them all together. That's it, I think. There's something in here or no? Nope. Other than a dismount. This is above us. Not up here. But considering how rare it is to get Casgray ore, and I'm fully maxed out on the profession, it does indicate that, you know, I think this is partially due to it being an MMO, you know? I think they did not want somebody to do like whatever we're doing alone. It makes it very impractical. They wanted people to share. But I do think that when you create these things to be this rare, it encourages botting. Because there's no way that, like, if the items are valuable, then let's say you can get, like, if somehow you can get one every hour of something. Okay, well, you don't have infinite time. So you have 5 hours to play. You either spend 5 hours playing the game, like actually doing content that rewards you and progresses you, or you find yourself doing material gathering. Now, at that point, you come to a junction in the player base. Do you gather materials for yourself or for others? If the materials are gathered for yourself, and you spend 5 hours doing that content, it may turn you off to the point where you might not want to even get the reward anymore. If you gather it for others, which is what they're relying on people doing, and you need 5 hours of work to create one thing or whatever, I'm not tracking it obviously, but one thing, then it may encourage players to simply not even try and just set up automated ways to do it when they don't have free time. Because if you think about how hard it is to get 5 unlimited diamonds based on what we think is happening here, then we know that the only way to do it is to either buy an enormous amount of ore and auction from the auction house, or to change our entire gameplay strategy for multiple months. And you know what I mean, like, you got to spend all your free time doing this stuff. So I think it's a win-win if it's played organically. There's Costco right, or Blizzard probably wants it to be played organically, and as such encourages a win-win. But I do think the limitations that players face in their time versus the difficulty of the rewards, or the difficulty to value ratio of the rewards, I guess, is what you would say, is not commensurate with a human being getting these things. But, you know, the MMO concept is what really is interesting in that topic, because when you have, say, 1 million people, that's never going to be the case, but say you have 100 people all farming ore. Well, what percentage of them are doing it just to sell? That's the real question. I think the answer, unfortunately, is very high. I think very few people try to actually craft stuff themselves, and instead they're trying to get money from it. No, I think maybe from the perspective of the company, that's fine, because it is, of course, an MMORPG, and perhaps just driving gold economy through the game creates a better atmosphere for everybody. Like, hoarding gold would definitely not be preferable from Blizzard's perspective. But I don't know. It'd be interesting. I know that they have this gigantic compendium of all stats. I got to see it when I went to Blizzard headquarters 2018. I would love to see the stats on like any type of actual, like, I guess like a mass rarity or something. Like, if 1,000 people all try to do something, what is the actual odds of it? Because all you ever get from the community is like self-reporting, and like I'm seeing these comments, like, you know, one guy said he prospected 2,000 ore and got,
The Gorloks have stashed
I don't know what the,
items in the upper reaches of this area.
I'm not really sure what the chart is
Gather
showing. I
them
guess
so
it's a
they can be
percentage.
returned to their rightful owners.
Oh yeah, okay, it's average per ore. So the guy's saying you have to prospect 1,000 ore, I guess. 1,000 ore to get 1 unlimited diamond. And if that's the case, then who the fuck's gonna do that? Who's gonna have 1,000 ore? Who's gonna farm 1,000 ore, first of all? Nobody would do that. They would rather just bot it, I think. Or buy it from a bot. That's kind of where I was going with it initially. Like, I don't think there's an enormous amount of people farming. I do think everybody who is farming is doing it to sell anymore. And I think it's indecipherable, bot versus human. But I do think if you can bot, you would do that, and you would just reap the rewards passively. And I think that's partially why I like the wax system, because it gives you a way to double dip a little bit without feeling like you're just never going to get what you need. But it also encourages you to put stuff on the auction house that you wouldn't normally be able to. They do a good job with this. I'm really happy with it, and I hope that the wax system or something like it will come forward. I have a feeling the answer is it won't. But if it doesn't, I will miss it deeply. Because there's nothing like this in Dragonflight. And as we were talking about in the last episode, I think its foundational purpose is simply like lore, or whatever you would say, like flavor. Mostly just flavor. Not actual, like, let's change the game. Which is what it did, really, in my opinion. You know, there used to be the mission tables,
Great fish gather
and
in
they would give you,
droves. Go, gather meat for us and
like,
bring back
you can get
stories of your
mining
exploits.
nodes if you're not a miner that way, you know? So I think it wasn't a terrible idea to have that in the game. It seemed like they didn't want it anymore, but they brought it back in the form of wax. Now it's more active, I guess. I don't know, the general concept of, there's like two prevailing concepts that are there. Like one is, do you want crafters to have access to materials that they don't have a gathering profession for? And two, that's like part one. And part two is, do you want people to have access to materials offline? And that's effectively what the hell was that? That's effectively what they do with the mission table. Or whatever it was in Shadowlands. I think Shadowlands is actually its best iteration. It's like an auto battler. It just nobody actually cared for, and they just found a weak ore to do it or something. So yeah, that's not coming back. I don't think that worked out. Shadowlands had a lot of interesting choices that seemingly should have worked out, but didn't. And I'm not entirely sure why. I think it was partially due to poor design. Like, certainly is partially due to poor design. It's just how partially. But I think maybe the best example, like you could say Torghast, you could say legendaries, you can say covenants, whatever, all the other systems with covenants. But I think the one that is the worst of all of it is actually the auto battler. That was the worst, I think, and it was super unclear of how to maximize it. It had no real like good visual feedback. Like yeah, I'd still have no, like to this day, if you had to tell me I need to succeed at this mission. I remember there was missions like that. It was like raid pieces or something like that. And people were saying that there was just like one character that was really overpowered. I think it was like Naya or whatever you would say. The chick with the antlers. And that was like, and it was way overpowered. Like if you were Ventir, you got totally screwed. Like they had no good, for some reason it was just like way harder as Ventir. I don't think that's well designed at all, unfortunately. And I think that's probably why they tapped out on it. They had an idea, maybe perhaps they didn't realize how hard that idea was going to be to execute. But no matter what the thought process was, the result did not work. The question is why? I don't know. Probably due to inactivity of the development. Because I don't think there was, like, was there a single buff or nerf to those things? There's probably one in the very beginning or something. I think they nerfed, like, they made some big sweeping changes to it. And then I think that was, like, literally it. Hey, we got rewarded. Oh, we're done. Right? No. We need 17, don't we? Yeah. 17 total. I definitely wish there was better, well, actually, I think the thing I wish the most is that they would stop making these ideas. Like, that's why I was really happy to hear that delves were coming forward. I never would have expected them to. Not because they weren't popular, but it just seems to be like the way it goes. And I think it's the way it goes because Blizzard's development team, they like try something to get people interested. They don't really care how good it is long term. It's just an expansion feature. And they have this idea in their head that like, we need expansion features other than the expansion. And I wish they would stop doing that. Like I get what they're, obviously they're trying to make money. They're trying to get people to buy the product. They're like, oh, that sounds interesting. Let's try that out. But it's just never good. Like it's really delves. Like, what other examples? I mean, I think Torghast was the miss. That was the one that it should still be in the game, and they should have continued with the concept. But it doesn't seem like it was very popular. Maybe the biggest mistake they made with Torghast was making the legendary system require it. I think they thought they had something there, which honestly, a lot of influencers were making it sound like they did too. Like, initially, it did seem like they had something great. It just didn't stay that way. The initial idea of, like, infinite progression in Torghast definitely was... That was the most attractive part of it. And those, like, the powers or whatever, it was just never going to work. Like, there was no way they were going to keep it balanced. But then as soon as they announced that they weren't doing that anymore, I think a lot of the people who were talking it up, like one of the people who was talking it up the most was Asmongold, right? Who, like, doesn't even, I mean, did he play the game during that expansion? I guess maybe he did, but it's like he was just excited because it seemed like something that he might be interested in a game that he used to play a lot. I think it's literally all it is. He was never going to do it long term. It wasn't going to be something that he did 40 hours a week like he used to, you know? Whereas other players were kind of forced into it because of that. Like, he was big, like, it was being talked about so heavily. And it seemed like they had such a big system on their hands that Blizzard was like, good, let's go all in on this. Try to get as many people into it as possible. Of course, you have a lot of problems with, like, class balance in there as well. It's a big issue. It's unfortunate. I just wish they would stop trying it, because I personally think it really cheapens the game. It makes it feel like it's like some failed experiment, like, and that the company doesn't really have any, like, true goal with their development. Like, if you think about what truly has been iterative along many, many years, there's very few things. It's really, I mean, you could say questing. I think it's like part and parcel with leveling. So we can just call that leveling. The concept of, like, short open world progression is definitely the #1 thing. Temporary, I guess, is what you should say, because short, that's relative. But yeah, temporary open world progression. Tier 1, #1. Like, that's the thing that's been in every single element of the game, because quests always come in every single patch. I don't think there's ever been a patch that, like, a brand, like, new raid has not come alongside new world content, new quests, and new temporary stuff, you know, stuff you can only get once and do once, and that's it. And then next is, I guess, raids, you would say. Some people might consider, like, class design, but I don't really think that's content. I think that's just the RPG, like, the foundation. Like, you have to have class design for there to be an RPG. So I don't really consider, like, it's fun at times to play a class and not to play a class because of class design, but I would never say that, like, there's new content that's class design, you know? Like the hero talents, the dragonflight talents, these things are great, but I don't particularly consider them content. Renewable, you know? So that's the big thing. It's finding things that are renewable in the game, and there's very few. Mythic Plus has been probably the most successful of all of them, I think. The biggest break on the scene type moment. Because Legion had a lot of very interesting concepts. And yeah, they're not here anymore. Is that in that cave? Yes. I think the Legion legendary system and the bad luck protection was actually the best system they had. Alright, we got enough cow's grape. Just barely. Because that was the thing that was going to create the most replayability long term. It had people running Emerald Nightmare in the last patch, you know? Well, before they made the... I can't remember how they actually changed the legendaries, because by then I was like totally done with them, but... It was very, very good for what it was for a long time. And just like this, I think anytime you can encourage players to go do a bunch of shit in the world, we like doing that as much as we can. Oh, I'm still mining. See, this is so addictive. We need a lot more lumber. I like this concept. Even just like a felled tree has the lumber potential. Why is the moon green? Oh, that was because of the Emerald Dream thing or something. I wonder if you can get lumber in every zone. That would be cool, actually, to go to the Emerald Dream and get lumber. I bet there's lumber everywhere. Oh, 3. 63. Titan Touch Ceravite. I mean, we're going to need more eventually, right? And we need more... actual ore to prospect, so... Why not? We should continue to prospect, or we should continue to mine. But I really want to look for Draconium. $68 now. Need to find at least another 7 trees or so. Hopefully we'll get a 3 proc. I guess that's the highest you can get. I don't think we've seen higher. But I haven't looked at every single one diligently. Wonder how they coded those. Where is this? Wonder how they coded this. Seems like it must have been hard. Because I would imagine the trees are not naturally part of the pool of things. I don't even understand it from the private server perspective. I tried to look at it, but it's very confusing. It's probably just something I'm missing, but I don't fully understand how to, like, create... I think they're called pools, right? Is that what they call them? I don't really understand how to create them. And how to, like, edit them. There must be a document. There must be a table somewhere that has every single one stored. But what seems unclear to me is, like, how many can be up at a time. Because when I increased the drop rate or whatever, it seemed to increase the pool, or I don't know, there's been some talk about that over the years. People are suggesting it's simply because I'm on a server alone, and you would never ever ever see that in the real game. But I don't really think that's the case because we've seen like nodes right on top of each other. Like I'm talking about like 5 feet from each other kind of thing. I don't think that's the case. I think they're supposed to spawn independently of each other. And they're just, yes, they are all up, but they're also up more because of something I changed. It shouldn't have, like, it shouldn't work that way.
The mountains are mighty here. Plant our banners
Oh, we're done.
to mark what the Dragon Scale expedition
Okay.
has discovered.
We'll just fly back. No, we're right here anyway. Another great thing about Dragonflight. You never feel too far away. This is really probably the best actual feature they've added in a long time. It's so good to just travel the world again. It doesn't necessarily feel organic to Classic, unfortunately, but I think it's better. Is there actually... Oh, that's down. I was going to say, I thought that was lumber in the city. Alright. So we have
Looking for wares.
a lot of stuff. Put these in. We don't have any orange gems in at all right now. A lot of gems going in. I doubt we'll use them. That's it, right? Glowing Titan ore we'll hang on to because they're pretty hard to come by. And that's it, I guess. Here's another one. I knew that there's definitely something else here too, I feel like. I thought we had a slot that was empty when I started.
Will that be all?
Let's go ahead and vendor a little bit too. Yeah, those aren't selling. What's going on here?
Deals for a friend of the Grummels, like you.
Oh, is it the anniversary they're celebrating?
Many farewells.
Yeah, I guess it's the anniversary. Old school. They even put a classic mailbox here. Like what? Oh, and a horde one. What the hell? Alright, that's it for this character for a bit. Okay, so let's take a look at what we got here. This is jewel crafting, I think. I doubt you can gain any actual skill jewel crafting by prospecting. But maybe we have some points or something that we could spend. I doubt it. What is crushing? Why would we do that? Wait, how much ore do I have? Oh, it's gonna let me do it from my warband bank. That's pretty cool, actually. The hell is that? Certainly that's not gonna be... Let's not do this. No, I mean, I guess we do need to do it, right? I have a bunch of rat stuff. Must have been farming transmog. I also have enchanting. That's 50. I mean, we don't even have 1,000 ore, so it's like not even gonna be. We're not even gonna get one, I bet. At least it's quick. Used to have to do each click had to be like confirmed kind of thing. How much money do we have? 3,000 only. Seems like almost 0% chance for Ceravite, but we'll do it anyway. Hey, what? How long is this episode? Coming up on the end here, yeah. We'll finish up the mining or prospecting, and then that'll be it. Okay, that's it for those. Rank 2, I guess we'll do as well. Not sure why it says 202 when we have 500. I don't know. I mean, what can we do with this? What's the point of that? Ah, we got one. First one. That was from 2 as well. Rank 2. Perhaps because we concentrated. That menu just keeps growing. It's kind of cool, actually. Seemingly, you'd be able to go all the way back. Oh, wow. Another? Oh, they're not rare at all. Or are we just getting really lucky? Probably very lucky, but that's good. We might not even have to craft anyone, or buy anyone, because we only need one more now. And we still have a good amount of ore left. Surely we have more draconium than this. Seems to indicate, I guess we only have enough to prospect 20 draconium. I don't really get why it says Dragon House prospecting 140. I don't get that. Okay, we're done. Should we stop? I guess we should stop. Well, that's interesting. That was like not rare, I guess. Oh, well, we got none from rank 3 somehow. And then 4 from rank 2. But I wonder if that me pressing that concentration button really mattered. I don't know.
I have much to offer.
I imagine we're going to be back to this. Wait, where's our other one? Where's the other one? Oh, there it is. It's a rank 2, that's why. Okay.
Thank you for browsing.
All right. Well, let's go close the episode off with us crafting. I think that's all we needed, right? We need, this is so annoying. I don't understand why the new, it's like, seems to only be those. They don't ever show up. They don't, like, they go away every time. Okay, so we don't even need to get that stuff out of our inventory. That's pretty cool. Alright, let's go craft them, and then that'll be today's episode. And then we'll be done with this character. Draconic nesting bed. Get it on the sheet. What did I just do? Nothing, I guess. I thought I changed the color, but I guess I didn't. Alright. And Veldraken Market Tent. These seem like these are pretty good. I'd like to look at these. How do we look at them? Like, ooh, that is nice, yeah. And then the bed. Yeah, that's like the one in the inn. That's cool. Alright, yeah, so those are pretty solid. Well, that's our day. Got 2 done in this episode, but mostly off the back of the previous episode, so now that we know how to get hides better, if we ever have to get more, we should be in a better situation for it. That's it. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.